Oh, thanks for having me.
Hey, it was a long journey to get you on here, man.
I know.
So, Bryant, let's get it all rolling with how did you get involved with football as a kid?
Actually, I didn't start to high school. So, as a kid, I started out wrestling, and then I went to basketball and played basketball all the way up to high school. Then I started playing football. So I got in football late.
Heck yeah, man. With the wrestling, you got your physicality from that, huh?
Yeah, and to learn discipline. And then my mom put me into basketball to teach me to work with others.
Definitely, man. So, next question for you. Scrolling a little bit forward. Coming out of college, how did you react to all the glory and the accolade or the prestige of being the best offensive lineman in the 2002 NFL draft?
Um, I wanted to do better than another person. There was another guy from Texas named Mike Williams. He went number 5 to Buffalo, and I went number 7. So even though I was graded higher than him, Buffalo took him. And I always looked at his career, and I always wanted to make sure I was I always wanted to make sure I was doing better than him. And I did. I lasted longer. And then the year I was going to the Super Bowl, the newspaper did an article, and they gave it to me. The newspaper in Buffalo did an article and saying how they made a big mistake and they should have chose me. And I just kind of felt like, redemption, I guess, then, you know what I'm saying, 11 years
Yeah,
later.
man.
But I definitely was something I kept my eyes on.
Definitely, man. A little chip on your shoulder to prove yourself.
Yeah,
Definitely,
right.
man. So, scrolling it forward in your NFL journey, what was the feeling like to win the Super Bowl championship with the Ravens and with all the surrounding cast around you with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Joe Flacco, Ray
I
Rice?
think it was especially important to me to be able to win it with Ed Reed because we were the same year, and in college we won a national championship together. So that's the only person I can say I won both with, a national championship and a Super Bowl with, and vice versa for him too. So it just to me felt like that. Every time we team up, we win the championship together. But then also having Ray Lewis kind of spearhead a lot of things in that locker room. And then Joe Flacco was from the same conference in high school as I was, and then becoming close with Ray Rice and everything. So it was a great dynamic.
Definitely, man. So, life after football for you, Bryant, how have you applied the trials and tribulations of the game to your personal life?
Because I keep my competitive edge. I play tennis, and then I'm in business now. So even in business, I use my competitive edge to always try to stay ahead, and it pushes me. It's my drive to kind of succeed. Right now, I have a company called Let's Chat. We partner with Comcast. We're finishing up the 3-month accelerator program actually next week in Atlanta with them. But in the midst of all that, I want to try to make sure we, in that learning process of the accelerator program, learn as much as we can and put it to use and gain as many clients as we can during that time. And I feel like we've done a great job. And low key, I've always kept an ear out to see what everybody else is doing to make sure we're in the pack, if not leading it.
Definitely. So, my next question for you is brought to you by B&D Sports Media. Your former teammate Joe Flacco, what has held him back from being a long-term starter for an NFL franchise?
I'm not really sure. I mean, when I got to Baltimore, he was the starter. And then for a couple years after I left, I don't really know because, like I said, my time with him, he was a starter and leading up to it. And then he was still starter a little bit afterwards. Now, it seems like he's taking more of the backup role and kind of being there as a mentor for some of these younger players. But which is always good for a team to have because if the younger player goes down, you still have a veteran that can come right in and has been in a lot of these situations already who can still lead your team to victory.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, my next one is about your Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are the Vikings from contending for a chip, man, a championship?
You know, it's crazy. The Vikings have never won a championship before, and I for some reason I thought they did at least one. I feel like they're not far with the new coaching and the new GM. The new GM, I've been on a Zoom call with him twice already. The new head coach, he was on the Zoom call with us once. They want former players to be more involved, so it's giving me like a University of Miami feel of having former players come back and even mentor or just give advice. They're trying to make it like a family-oriented thing, so I feel like it's going in the right direction. You just got to make sure these guys, the players, develop correctly and, you know, and then just not being out-coached. But I feel like they're heading in the right direction. I like what I see so far.
For sure. They have a young nucleus there.
They
With
really
Jefferson, their receiver, and their defense is up and coming too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just want to see how things turn around and, you know, get better for them. I'm excited.
Definitely, man. So, Bryant, this a new little segment on our show where we're giving the athlete the ability to ask a question.
So I asked you a question?
Yeah, off the cuff, man.
Who's your favorite sports team and why?
What's my favorite sports team? I'm a big Patriot fan, so.
Why? You live in Boston?
My family's from there.
Oh, okay. Where you live?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And ask another one.
If you could trade places with one person for one day, who would it be and why?
That's a tough question. That was a good one. Probably John Shire. I'm a big Duke basketball fan.
Okay.
To bring in those top recruits would be pretty cool.
One of my close teammates from college, his son went to Duke for a year, Vernon Carey.
Heck yeah, man.
He played basketball there for a year.
Then he went to Charlotte, the Hornets, as an undrafted rookie, right?
I think he went in the second round.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember him. He was the top recruit for them.
Yeah, he stayed for a year, yeah.
Heck yeah. So, Bryant, we'll conclude on this. Where can my audience find you on social media?
They can find me on all platforms at Bryant Mckinnie, BryantMcKinnie.
Heck yeah, man. So, Bryant, this concludes our episode on Sports Talk 1996, and we'd welcome you back for another one, my friend.
You were born in 96?
Yep.
I was what month?
January.
Okay, all right. I was still in 11th grade, but I was about to go into my senior year in that September.
Heck yeah, man. Hey, it was great speaking to you, and we'd welcome you back for another one, my friend.